The film has a segment from a press conference from the Prime Minister Stephen Harper in March 2008, who announces funding for carbon capture. Can you tell our viewers a bit more about carbon capture and if this is a solution, and if yes, why, or if no, why?
Well, carbon capture is a bit of a controversial topic, but basically the idea is that they try to, take, it's an exhaust pipe basically of the production, and they stick that exhaust pipe deep into the ground and then let it sit there in some of the old drilling spots that they used to do drilling or mining from, and hope in 50,000 years that CO2 will disperse itself appropriately, and not cause greenhouse gas emissions. There is very little scientific proof that this works. It is phenomenally expensive, and there is no real measurement of its appropriate value, or whether it actually prevents the release of these greenhouse gas emissions. There's currently, I think, 3 major CO2 companies that are in the States that are actually stopping their production. They had some timeline to sort of develop and get up and running, and the funding has basically dropped out in the States. So, all those plans are based on, a very high price in the dollar, and also there's no allocation of resources towards that type of technology, and it only seems to come into play when there's lots of public pressure for that to happen. So when, issues of job security or issues of financial meltdown rise up, then these kind of initiatives lose funding, and there can be large consequences because of it. So I think the technology is weak. B, I think that there is not enough pressure to maintain it, if it even is a successful technological remedy. And C, I think that it's a bit of a joke to say that we're just going to attach a tailpipe from the one end and stick it in the ground for the other. It's an outrageously expensive process, and I think we need to stop this type of production and start a new type of energy investigate.
Okay, thank you. And a few more questions before we finish. And the previous segment, you mentioned the need for a moratorium. With this moratorium, you suggest apply only on new projects, or also existing projects?
Well, the moratorium has to apply to, specific to the Fort McMurray tar sands, that it would be that no new oil sands development be put into play, that no new tracts of land be granted to companies to develop open pit mines, for sure, or even in situ. There's plenty of already leased licensed land that can be continued to be developed. So, there's no need to develop more lands or sign new leases. But I think that all in all, we need to look at other resources.
Okay, and speaking of other resources, do you think that Alberta and Canada should look more seriously into solar and wind energy to become alternative energy superpowers?
I don't know that we need to become an energy superpower, but I think that, yes, we should look towards other energy sources.
Okay, great. And just to wrap up, can you tell our viewers a bit about your background professionally, and what other film experience you have?
I am a producer and a director and a filmmaker. I've made a number of other films. I did a film called Walltown. It's about a group of activists in Canada that challenged the largest store in the world, Walmart, and it documents the issues around human rights and the consequences of shopping at Walmart. I've also done another film, where I produced called Roadsworth, and it follows an artist tidily named Roadsworth who does street art, and it looks at the role of the artist in public space and our right to interact with the public through the public sphere.
Okay. And what current project or future projects are you working on, or would you like to work on?
I'm working on my 2-year-old daughter right now, and she's a wonderful, exciting child, and so that's my biggest project to date.
So you're taking a break from filming for now?
Yeah.
Okay. And if people want to get in touch with you, do you have a filming company? What's its name, and how can people?
Loaded Pictures is the company, and there's a list of all the films. It's loadedpictures.ca.
Okay. Okay. And can you just mention one more time the name of the director of the film?
Shannon Walsh is the director of H2Oil.
And where is she based from?
She's from Montreal, and she's now currently in South Africa.
Okay, thank you very much.